Norman has a fun story. I just remember when he first came into audition and he walked in the room and said, I suck at auditions. I've never gotten a job off an audition. I'm terrible.
So I read it, I left, and then I went back to New York.
And I remember when he left, my note was, he's not right for this role, but he is fascinating and we have to find something for him. And then when
the producers agreed.
And they agreed.
Yeah. He made such an impression on us that we brought him back in a role that isn't from the comic books of Daryl Dixon.
And then I got a call as I was walking through Chinatown saying, hey, they wrote a part for you. I was like, yay. Morning.
Someone who actually never had to audition is Melissa McBride.
Washed my clothes.
Well, best we could. Scrubbing on a washboard ain't half as good as my old Maytag back home.
That's very kind. Thank you.
I produced a film called Stephen King's The Mist, and she had one very important critical scene in that movie, and she was breathtaking.
It was about 3 years after The Mist had shot, and I was called by the local casting director.
Little did she know, all these conversations had gone on, that she got a call that we're doing a television series in the zombie apocalypse in Atlanta, and you've been cast in the role of Carol.
Please, Lord, punish me however you... But show mercy on her.
When in doubt, put the camera on Melissa, because she is absolutely phenomenal.
Casting of Michonne was very exciting for us. It was a fan favorite.
This place is not what they say it is. It was probably one of the most exhilarating things I've ever gone through to be cast in this show. To actually be handed something this extraordinary, a character this original, was something I'd never come across, really.
You know, you're casting a brilliant woman, not just a brilliant actress, which I think has served
And
her
badass.
well. And a badass.
Just badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really badass.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. See.
A lot of times in television, you shoot a pilot and then you go away for months and, wait to hear whether you're going to get picked up. For us, our kind of whole pilot was the first season.
All right, everybody step back if you're not in the rehearsal. All right, here we go. Pictures up. Hey, Mark.
We knew that we were in a place, a highly creative place, and we had all the right people.
Performances just so compelling to watch, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this on television.
Something happened. It was the right time, the right creative individuals, the right cast. When the casting director told me about the character, that was one of the things that really turned me on about the role. This role is written for you, Rooker. I mean, the guy is such an ass-kicking southern redneck. He, cuts his own hands off to... I'm like, what? Wait, hold on. He does what? No! I've never experienced anything like that. Anything like The Walking Dead. And I said, okay, I'll do it.
It makes the show harder, and it absolutely makes the show better.
August in Georgia is a special time. It is hot.
Rick! Walkers!
We film a lot in the woods, where there's all manner of bugs and creepy crawlies that want to bite you and give you various diseases.
The weather really doesn't bother me, and especially when you see people in Walker costumes who are much hotter than I ever would be.
On that day.
They'll turn me into Walker next week, and then we'll see.
I had lived in New York a long time, so I was used to heat and humidity. But Georgia takes it up a notch.
There is no place on earth that is hotter than Atlanta in August. That being said, is a zombie ever going to get my leather jacket off me? Hell no.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
What's your name? My friends used to call me Jesus. I have as many clothes on as possible and as much facial hair and hair on my head as possible to make me a big sweaty mess at the end of every day.
We like to be miserable.
If we're not miserable, we're not making The Walking Dead. It's just part of it.
If we happen to shoot indoors and there's air conditioning, it doesn't feel right to me.
equalizer, and everybody has to work in it, not least our crew. A lot of it is about making sure they can make it through, and if they can make it through, we sure as hell can.
The fact that for 6 months a year, we're all together outside of Atlanta bonds us more closely than anything I've ever worked on before.
The crew are the heart of this show now, because there's so many other people have come and gone, and there's a sort of unity and a real strength. And I realize that I make the show for them just as much as myself.
We get a script and we're like, okay, this one's impossible, we're not going to make it, and somehow we do.
This is a little bit different. Cameras go Japan.
That's really a credit to the crew, because they don't just show up to work. They're very, very proud to be the crew of The Walking Dead, and it shows.
The first day I came on the set, this guy came up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Red Brown."
I believe I said hi, I love you, and I'm glad you're here.
That's exactly what he said.
Toughest thing about the job, we're in the woods a lot, so maneuvering into the deep forest and not having a paved road to get to it is probably our toughest thing.
Go home.
Let go. Just leave.
We definitely have the best crew. This is probably the best job ever.
There, got it.
Do I love working on it? I'm still here.
The Walking Dead crew.
My job involves all the effects of nature. Wind, rain, snow, anything to do with steam or smoke or explosions.
They genuinely have the best attitude. Some of them have to drive 40 minutes to get home to go to sleep. They really are like superheroes.
Your motivation here is run out of gas. You're going after him. Never give up. Keep going.
It's a very fast-moving set. There's always excitement around the corner. Just walking over here for this interview, I almost walked into a herd coming at me of walkers.
Any zombies without something to eat?
Wouldn't you like to eat with the zombies?
We got 30 zombies in makeup. We got a dog. We're going to have them take a dog leg, rip it off. We got brisket and stuff stuffed in there. And anyway, she's going to get this girl biting and eating it. Hopefully digesting some dog.
Sometimes we have night shoots and we start, at 6 o'clock in the evening and work until the sun comes up. But it's all fun.
This is the family that we really like to work with.
People really love making this show. It is the greatest summer camp on earth.
It is hard. The flow is real easy.
Oh, Lord, there's 2 walkers after my baby.
Everybody does their job and everything comes together when we call action. Action!
I get excited about exploring the different sets. It always gives all of us writers ideas about, here's this really cool part of the set that hasn't been seen yet, or here's something that's underutilized. It always sparks ideas. It's just really different from seeing blueprints or photos. Gives you a sense of the living space.
Every department, props, hair, makeup, wardrobe, everybody that has to go into figuring out how we're going to have these characters interacting with zombies and all these things we have to figure out. It's an incredible process.
We make magic in 8 days.
I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too.
That says it all. That says it all.
I'm going to bust out crying.
Thank you, Your Majesty. For what? For being such a cool dude. There's nothing like heat, humidity, mud, and fake zombie guts to glue you all together.
These characters are constantly fighting for survival every day. And so you become very close to them in that way because you're really fighting for your lives together.
I've never experienced anything like that. Started fighting, pulling on hair. Your family doesn't do that? Get on your feet before I have to kick your teeth in. That's my family. It was unlike a family in that everybody was really cool.
It's a bond about a commitment to the work, and it's effortless, and it's genuine, and it goes from the top down.
We're staying. Just the 3 of us.
I think it's tough watching so many actors being brought into the show and the level that the other actors are operating on. And they first kind of have walked in, settled down, looked around and went, is this real? Is somebody going to hit me?
Dad! What's
started as excitement became abject terror by the time I landed in Atlanta.
Help me, my boy!
Because I became such a fan of the show.
I need my full kit.
As soon as I arrived in Georgia, I was so welcomed, and I knew I was sort of in the bosom of family.
I'm responsible. I ain't gonna sit here while this fella takes this on alone.
See you out there, brother.
It was intimidating at first, but that stress kind of dissipated as soon as I met Andy.
I am dead and we're assholes. That's so smart. Who did this?
All the fear just kind of went away like that.
You need anything, you call me. We don't have phones. I'm 4 houses down.
Thank you. And my first shot, we were wrangling pigs. I looked over at Lenny. I said, Lenny, it's my first shot, man. And he said, welcome to the family. And we were off and running. Been running ever since. Well done, Richard.
We say that it's TWD family, and we mean it in truth.
Keep saying that they're